Hello, and thanks for taking a few moments to watch this brief video about Feedback Payback, who we are, how it works, and most importantly, why your customers will love it. So, first of all, we clearly are not the world's greatest artists, and we decided to use this little whiteboard app because it's simple, and we thought there was no reason to kind of overdo the technology, and it kind of illustrates how simple things really work at Feedback Payback, and the beauty lies in the simplicity. So, at a fundamental level, we believe we understand something fundamental about the customer experience, and that is that customers are generally one of two things, right? We are either happy, or we're not so happy, and based on which of the two your customers are, that really goes a long, long way into determining the future success or failure of your business. So what we set out to do was design a process that really is as simple as one, two, three, for your customers to be able to provide you with the feedback that's so critical to the future of your business. But the thing is, for them, it has to be easy and instant and worth their while to do so. Because in the end, they'd like it to work out. They'd like to have a great shopping experience or a great dining experience or a great experience at your place of business. But if it doesn't work out, they have options. They're going to move on with their day. They'll move on with their lives. They'll go to your competition. They only care so much, right? But, they do have feedback on how things went. The key is being able to access it. And in that regard, the key is to make it easy, instant, and worth their while to do so. Make the process simple. And so that's what we believe we've done. So let's walk through what the steps are, right? One, your customer opts in. They simply opt in. There's no QR code to swipe. There's no clunky app to download. There's no complicated process to follow. They simply opt in. Now we have a few different opt-in methods that we can use, and the key is we really want to work with you to define, and determine which of these is the best for your particular environment. And that's an easy process for us to work through with you. But the key is that your customer chooses to opt in. They're not pushed or spammed or forced into the process, which all it does is create resentment and doesn't ultimately get you what you want, which is the feedback that you're looking for. And so once they opt in, the next thing that happens immediately, and they do this right on their phones, is they receive a survey right on their phones, right in your store, right? And they answer a few quick questions, which you've designed. So you control the survey, you control the content of the questions, and you can begin to get at, a deeper level of how things are working. Like, what do they think? How do they feel? What's working, what's not working, and most importantly, are they going to come back, right? So you can begin to get real, live, in-store, in-restaurant, right? Voice of customer feedback. Those little thought bubbles that are above their heads, now you can get that access to that information, right? So once your customer completes the survey, the third and final thing happens. As soon as they press send, they receive a coupon right on their phones, right in your store, which they can present at checkout or to the server or whatever kind of business you have. They have your coupon, your incentive right now on their phones, which they've received as a result of completing the survey, and they present that at checkout. Easy, instant, one, two, three. And at a fundamental level too, this is instead of a customer complaining online, complaining to friends. They provide the feedback directly to you, right? So instead of them complaining to someone else, they can actually, give the feedback to the people at the store or the restaurant. That can really make a difference. Instead of facing off with a cashier, or complaining to maybe a management level store employee in customer service, and maybe feeling like they're not getting anywhere or like that feedback isn't going to get back to corporate. This gives them the ability to be able to provide direct feedback without, any of the drama or complication or awkwardness associated with all that, and actually be rewarded for providing the feedback. So let's review the steps, right? One, your customer opts in. Two, they take your brief survey. And three, they receive the coupon right on their phones. Feedback payback. It's as easy as one, two, three. Now, on the other side of the equation, we have to make the process just as easy for you to onboard the concept, make it available to your customers in store, develop best practices, and decide if and how you want to roll it out within your enterprise, locally, regionally, or nationally or internationally, depending on what your footprint is. And so one of the things that we premise the whole operation on was that it can't be a clunky software download. So we are 100% cloud-based. So there's no software for you to download. There's no licenses to buy, nothing like that, right? This is a 100% cloud-based environment. And as soon as your customers in store are providing feedback to you, that feedback, all of those instances of feedback are entered into your cloud, as it were, right? So the feedback filters in there, and you're beginning to be able to see all these instances of feedback rolling in, and you're able to view them in your back office. And that's really kind of the next point here, which is that you do get a kind of an on-demand series of analytics, kind of a BI dashboard, where you can really begin to look at how your customer sentiment is trending, right? Red, yellow, green, right? Like, do they like us? Are they neutral? Do they not like us? And then you can right click down on any dimension that you've defined and that you deem as important. So it may be, time of day. It may be by region or geography. It may be by specific store location. It may be by a particular product line. Whatever you feel is an important dimension to be able to track sentiment on. Wherever you're kind of seeing that feedback is really good or it's neutral or it's bad, you can drill into any one and all of those areas, right? Right through the tool of the analytics tools that we provide to you in your back office. All right. So you have a 100% cloud environment. You have a suite of management analytics and dashboard tools for decision making. And then the next thing that you have access to as part of this, fundamentally, the whole part of the process here, is you have access to your customer's SMS inbox now, right? This is all permission marketing, and it's really permission marketing redefined. You have access now to their SMS inbox. You have the ability now to be able to provide them with coupons and incentives to crowdsource new ideas. You can reach out to the customers who have provided you with great feedback. You can and thank them for it with a coupon or some kind of incentive, in addition to what you provided in store, but that keeps them coming back again. You can follow up with those customers who maybe have provided a great idea. Maybe they said, hey, it would be great if you guys could do this or that. And the innovation that's there, can save years of R&D and, trial and error. Your customers, you may start to see some patterns develop where they're starting to, you're starting to get a few instances where customers are saying, it would be great if you could have this, in store or on the menu or in your, in your business, however your business is defined. But, great ideas from customers. And the third and final thing is, of course, those customers who aren't happy, who provide scathing feedback, and they would otherwise be unsalvageable. This is feedback you wouldn't even, have heard of before, but you're able to see it now because of Feedback Payback. And, now you have an ability to be able to follow up with that customer and be able to make good on it. And, who knows, if you turn around one or two of those customers or, one or two of those customers a day, or, you multiply that over your entire footprint of stores, that makes a real difference. And, those experiences are powerful, and they tell their friends. It's like, look, not only do these guys care, but they paid for my feedback, and they actually took me from a place where I was really angry with them, was never going back, to now being a loyal customer. So those stories are powerful. They're anecdotal, though, and in the end, the kind of the factual thing you can point to here is you have access to their SMS inbox. It's a really efficient channel for one-to-one relationships with your customers, and being able to crowdsource new ideas, provide them with incentives, and contact them, as the case may be. And it's all permission based. And then, kind of fundamentally, the final level here is that, it needs to be simple for you to be able to bring into your environment. We're not talking about a big kind of upfront investment. So we are pay as you go, continue if it works. If your customers are providing feedback, then you simply are, you simply pay on a per feedback basis, and that's it. So this way, your investment is proportionate with the value that you are receiving by using us, and that value is determined by, are your customers providing feedback to you? If your customers aren't providing feedback, you're not incurring any charges. If they are providing feedback, then it's kind of a proportionate investment, and we think that's the way it should be, right? So it's pay as you go, continue if it works. And from an upfront standpoint, in order to get you onboarded, it's simple. There's really nominal upfront costs, and they can really be amortized, in your per feedback survey amounts. So it's really super easy to be able to onboard with us from a process standpoint, from a financial standpoint. We've kind of made it a frictionless kind of environment here, and make it as easy as possible for you to be able to pilot this concept with your customers, develop best practices, and then decide and determine how and if you want to be able to roll this out to more of your enterprise. So in the end, we've designed feedback to really be as easy as 1, 2, 3. For your customers, easy, instant, worth their while, a simple 3-step process for them to follow. And for you, really easy and instant for you to be able to onboard the concept, to be able to develop best practices, to test it out, and then roll it out to the enterprise. Feedback Payback. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Thanks so much for listening. We look and watching and bearing with us as we've used this really primitive whiteboard technology, but hopefully explain the concepts, and we really do look forward to talking with you.